It's time for Smart Tan TV, America's source for tanning news, entertainment, and information. Now here are your hosts, Jessica and Ben.
Hi everybody, I'm Jessica Morris.
And I'm Ben Hudson.
And we'd like to welcome you to Smart Tan TV, where you can see and hear the latest information and advice about tanning, skincare, and how to avoid burning.
Since you're watching this program, you are one of 30 million people who tan indoors at one of thousands of professional tanning facilities in North America.
Well, best of all, you're well on your way to being a smart tanner because you're visiting a salon where the management and staff are trained and certified by the International Smart Tan Network.
Yep, you're hooked, watching us until the next tanning bed or booth is open. So don't read a magazine or do your homework and hang up the phone. Your boyfriend is not important. It's time to talk tanning.
No doubt that the popularity of tanning is growing, Ben. Why do you think that is? Why are more and more people tanning?
Global warming?
We visited a busy tanning salon recently and asked that question of some customers.
I like the sun, and in the winter I like to tan periodically just to keep some color.
It's horrible weather, that's what drives me to tan. So it makes me feel better, like the way I look better.
I'm going to Acapulco for spring break, so I would like to be tan when I go down there.
I love it because I can just shut down, the whole world is cut off for me for a while.
Close your eyes, listen to music, and shut her down for a little while.
Tanning makes me feel self-confident.
Tanning makes me feel energized. It just puts me in a more optimistic mood about the whole day.
When you're tan, you don't have to use as much powder and things like that, so your complexion definitely is better.
Put a suit on, you look better when you're tan. You feel better, you feel more confident. Other people look at you differently.
I think it makes you look more attractive in a way, especially if you're in a job where you have a lot of client interaction.
Essentially, you feel healthier when you walk out, so it's worth the 20 minutes.
I don't have time to lay out for 4 hours to get tan, and I don't get as tan outside as I do inside.
Anybody can throw a couple beds in a building and charge you $5 a tan. So I'm willing to pay a little more for a place that I know has quality beds, clean beds, and a knowledgeable staff.
Wow, sounds like people have lots of different reasons for tanning.
Well, that's right, Ben. But the most common reason is this: tanning makes you look good.
And believe me, I know from experience, when you look good, you feel good.
However, tanning wasn't always so popular.
You're absolutely right, Jessica. Although the sun has been around for 5 billion years, it's only been in the past century that indoor tanning has become popular. In fact, through most of history, tan skin meant you labored outdoors, while fair skin was a sign of elite status, wealth, or royalty. The first consumer tanning lamps were produced and marketed as a modern way to enjoy the healthy benefits of tanning. Pretty scary, huh? These lamps were just a single tube that you either sat in front of or waved around your body. The problem was they gave you a nice, even burn. Even so, such units were mass marketed, and fitness and health magazines advertised in-home tanning units. Indoor tanning caught on first in Northern Europe as a therapeutic exercise in light-deprived countries. By the late 1970s, it made its way to North America and caught on quickly. In fact, by the mid-1980s, indoor tanning was one of the fastest-growing industries in the United States. Today, more than 30 million North Americans use professional tanning facilities to get their tans the smart way.
Moderate tanning, for those who can develop a tan, is the smartest way to maximize the benefits while minimizing the risks associated with too much or too little sunlight.
How exactly does your skin tan and why? Tanning is your skin's natural response to sun exposure, specifically exposure to the ultraviolet radiation that is part of sunlight, while sunburn is the skin's response to overexposure to UV light. But to understand tanning and why it's not okay to burn, you first need to understand your skin. It's an organ. In fact, it's your body's largest organ.
Your skin serves you in many ways. It protects you from germs and pollutants in the environment. It regulates body temperature, houses sensory receptors that help you feel things like heat, pain, and cold. What many people don't realize is that the skin processes many of the chemicals, like vitamin D, that your body needs to survive. But we're here to talk tanning. Your skin tans to protect you from sunburn. It's a natural body process, and here's how it works.
Your skin has 3 layers, and it is the top one, the epidermis, that produces a tan. About 5% of the skin cells in the outer layer of your skin are special pigment-producing cells called melanocytes. We all have roughly the same number of melanocytes in our bodies, but our heredity dictates just how much melanin these cells will produce. That's why some people are naturally darker complected than others. Well, here's the fun part. Ultraviolet light from the sun or from a tanning unit stimulates your skin's melanocytes to make more melanin. Melanin literally covers your skin cells, protecting the inner cellular material, much like the hard candy coating of an M&M protects the chocolate.
So, tanning is a natural thing, like the red of a robin's breast, or the flowers blooming in spring.
Or co-hosts who say stupid things.
Sounds like UV light is very special.
Well, it is. Well, first, you can't see it. It's invisible. Well, sort of like your thought process, Ben. UV is a wavelength light that causes melanocytes to produce color in your skin. The sun produces 3 kinds of ultraviolet light: UVA, UVB, and UVC. Sunshine and tanning lamps use 2 of these, UVA and UVB. UVA is often called the tanning, browning, or bronzing ray, and it is most efficient at turning melanin in your skin brown.
UVB is often poorly described as the burning ray. It would be better to call it the tan starting ray because UVB is needed to start the tanning process. UVB rays are more intense than UVA and are more efficient at getting your skin to make melanin.
Well, finally, there's UVC. Only UVA and UVB are used in the tanning process. Fortunately, the ozone layer filters these rays from natural sunlight, and UVC is not used at all in the tanning process. UVC is sometimes called the germicidal ray, and it's sometimes used to sterilize objects or food.
So I'm not getting sterilized when I tan.
Unfortunately for mankind, no. Indoor tanning equipment uses a combination of only UVA and UVB light, and it mimics natural sunlight. As we said, UVA and UVB produce melanin and stimulate the tanning process, and modern tanning bulbs mix these light types precisely to maximize tanning efficiency and minimize your chance of sunburn.
Dr. Sandy Russell says, I tan indoors because it just seems more sensible to tan in a controlled environment.
Exposure schedules tell you how long you should tan without burning your skin. Remember that darker skin naturally produces more melanin than fair skin. Exposure schedules recommend specific exposure times for each skin type.
I have a skin type?
Everybody has a skin type, even you. Well, skincare experts have identified 6 specific skin types. Can you guess yours, Ben?
No clue.
Clueless again, huh? Well, I'm going to guess that by looking at you, you're probably a skin type 3.
Well, how can you tell that?
Well, I can't really until I ask you some questions, which is why your tanning professional skin types each customer.
What kind of questions?
Well, like, do you get burned easily?
Well, there is that girl from the health club and the waitress from the restaurant who left town, but I mean, that was
Ben, we can guess about your love life. We're talking about in the sun.
Oh, well, I guess I don't burn that easy. I can stay outside for a while before I get sunburned.
Okay, so we know you don't burn easily, that you have dark hair and dark eyes like most skin type 3s. So, as a type 3, you'll burn moderately when you're overexposed to UV light and tan average.
Average? What are you?
Not average. Let's talk about the other skin types. People with skin type 1 are very fair, and in fact they can't tan. They simply don't produce enough melanin. Type 1s usually have lots of freckles, fair hair, bright white skin, and blue or green eyes.
They can't tan at all then?
No. Type 1s burn with even a small amount of exposure to UV light. They should avoid indoor tanning altogether and wear strong SPF when outdoors. People with skin type 2 usually have blonde hair and blue or green eyes, but their skin can produce melanin in small amounts. Well, type 2s can tan indoors but should expose their skin slowly to UV. That's why the exposure schedule gives different times for all 6 skin types. They should wear SPF when they spend time outdoors. Skin type 3s, like you, Ben, tan more easily and quickly, but you will burn if you're overexposed to ultraviolet light, especially if your skin hasn't been exposed in a while. So you can't just jump into a tanning bed for 20 minutes right away.
There goes my nap.
People with type 3 skin typically have brown hair and a few freckles and can tan indoors effectively. You do need mild SPF protection outdoors. Well, skin type 4s are darker skinned by nature and usually have a Mediterranean, Asian, or Hispanic heritage. Their skin tans easily with less risk for sunburn. Well, skin type 5s are usually those whose ancestors evolved closer to the equator and therefore were exposed to greater amounts of UVA and UVB light. Well, this type of skin rarely burns. Skin type 6 is very dark or black and it also rarely burns. But don't be fooled, Ben. Every skin type will burn if exposed to enough ultraviolet light.
Okay, I get it. The higher number your skin type, the less likely you are to get sunburn?
Right, and the lower your skin type number, the more likely you are to burn. Again, that's why the exposure schedule on the tanning unit lists the recommended times for each skin type. Ask your indoor tanning professional for more information about your skin type.
Sun scare equals big money. Big pharmaceutical cosmetic companies rake in $35 billion a year scaring you out of the sun. In contrast, you need sunshine to be healthy, but sunshine is free. The sun has no marketing department.
Let's talk tanning equipment for a minute, because it's kind of confusing with beds, booths, lamps. How does an indoor tanner know what's best?
Well, your tanning professional will talk to you about your tanning needs and help you decide which equipment is best for you. Because there are so many different types of equipment available, you should definitely find out exactly what your tanning facility offers. But there are some similarities. For example, tanning beds typically come in a clamshell configuration with lamps in both the upper and lower parts of the unit. You lay down on the bed and close the lid so your body is exposed to ultraviolet light on both the front and the back.
You have to close the lid. My ex-girlfriend told me just to leave it open and you just flip over every couple of minutes.
Yeah, she had you flipping all right. With stand-up units, you simply walk into the booth and close the door. The lamps are arranged in a circular, hexagon, or diamond configuration for even tanning. Some tanning units have reflectors or special facial lamps to direct light evenly and/or focus on the facial area. Ask your tanning professional if your unit has facial lamps.
Tanning units have clear acrylic barriers to protect the user from the lamps, which get quite hot. That's why you'll hear the fans kick in to circulate air around the equipment and the customer.
Lamps come in many different strengths and configurations of UVA and UVB lights. Your salon selects the ones that work best for their equipment and clientele, and will recommend which ones are best for you and your tanning goals.
The thing to remember about lamps is they're a lot like Jessica over here. After a while, they lose their efficiency.
That's why it's important that, like Ben, they be replaced on a schedule recommended by the manufacturer.
Wow, tanning. Pretty complicated, isn't it, Jessica? Because it seems really important to tan at a professional salon where the people are trained and the equipment is maintained.
Well, it takes a smart customer to choose the right salon, and our audience has figured that out since they're tanning here. But what are some signs of a smart tanning salon? For the answer, let's go back to our woman in the field. Danielle, take it away.
Thanks, guys. You've made the right decision to tan in a Smart Tan trained salon. For most people, the #1 factor in choosing a salon is cleanliness. Your skin is in direct contact with the tanning equipment, so it's critical that the equipment is cleaned and sanitized after each use. Ask your tanning professional to explain their cleaning procedures and sanitation policies. Your tanning staff is knowledgeable about tanning, skincare, and lotions, so they can help you get a quality tan, moisturize, and condition your skin, and give you the proper amount of UV light for your skin type. The staff at this facility is trained and certified by the International Smart Tan Network, an association that promotes education and responsible indoor tanning practices. Your tanning professional will explain the equipment to you and help you select the equipment that's right for you and your tanning goals. They'll be happy to explain how they maintain their bulbs and equipment. Your tanning facility offers a selection of lotions and skincare products that are specifically designed to